Well, a little earlier I spoke to the business minister, Anna Soubry, who backed the Remain campaign on Thursday. I asked her how she was feeling today in the wake of the result.
What's happening is that for a lot of people, they suddenly realise that so-called Project Fear actually is turning into Project Reality. We've had more bad news overnight. I mean, obviously, we are doing everything we can as a government to stabilise things, to keep the confidence going. Sajid Javid and I have already begun that work. But the reality is now beginning to dawn on people. I'm hearing from some people that they voted Leave, not actually expecting Leave to win. And many people are now saying that they wish that they hadn't done that and somehow can undo it. Well, they can't. As we said, if you vote out, we're out. Now we've got to get a plan in place. And of course, Leavers have never had a plan. But we've also got to get the right leader in place of my party. We've got to get the right Prime Minister in place who can take us forward, who can heal, because there's a lot of healing that has to be done in our country, but also could get us the best deal for Britain.
Do you acknowledge that the sort of the demonisation, as you call it, not just of immigrants, but of Europe as an idea, is something that, you know, your government as a whole, including David Cameron, has got to take some responsibility for?
Listen, it's not just my party. With the exception of the Libs, it's actually both of the two main political parties who for too long have blamed Europe for most of our ills. And if there's a regulation or there's a law, people say, oh, it's all the fault of Europe. Or, classically, oh, we can't do anything about that and blame the EU. Most of the time, that's absolute nonsense.
Are you as angry with Michael Gove as you are with Boris Johnson?
No, I think for Michael, I mean, for him it was sovereignty. I mean, I was just hugely disappointed that, when we sat around the cabinet table, there were clearly people who shared his concerns, but they put loyalty to the Prime Minister, the interests of our country, before their own personal views, hugely to their credit. And Michael didn't do that. My anger with Boris is that I don't honestly believe that he believed what he was saying to people. Because you look at all the newspaper columns he has ever written, he's never said, I'm for out. And he positively told people like Nicholas Soames, I'm no outer. And when I confronted Boris with all of this, all he will ever say to me is, it'll be all right. It'll all be all right. And do you know what I think? I think he didn't think that they would win. That's why it was all going to be all right. But for his own interests, wanting to be Prime Minister, he went for Leave because it would serve him in his leadership ambitions. And I am cross about that because this issue was bigger than any one person. It was about my children, our children's future and our grandchildren's future. And now they are seeing the consequences, as we warned and as we said, come to reality.